That was
crazy.
That was so much because I know to anybody around, we had looked like such idiots walking around with this trophy, but like people were excited about it because like we were excited.
Very excited about it.
That was the best part. It was like we're going into restaurants and we have this, and we're like, hey, yeah, we just won the championship, and people are like, wow, that's awesome. Okay, yeah,
We went into Gretzky's.
Yes. People were so excited for us with it. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Beer Leaguer Podcast. On this episode, we're joined by what we've just kind of went back and reminisced about, one of my oldest and dearest hockey friends, former Beer League referee, current Beer League goalie, formerly my goalie, and the goalie that we rode to some league championships back in the day. Welcome to the show, Mr. Doug Carson.
Evening. Thanks for having me, Ross.
Well, thank you, Doug, for being here. And like I said, we were just talking about it. We've known each other for a long time. You came into my life as my team was struggling. Like, we were bad. We were really bad. I mean, we were the beginner team, and we were awful. We weren't winning anything. And you showed up and had no business playing at the level we were at. And really, we rode you to win the championship in Cleveland, get to go to the big international championships, and did that for a couple years, and really kind of got the team off the ground, really. So,
well, I'm going to say I disagree with you at the beginning because I was just starting back up playing, and I wasn't very good, or as good as I used to be. But I appreciated the opportunity to play with you guys. So for that, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, no, everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. And I know for me, a big thing that I appreciated was, and this is really, don't have this with a lot of goalies. This is, I think you kind of spoiled me for goalies going forward, is you were such a good coach on the ice for like everything going on. You talked a lot. You let us know everything that was going on. You're easily the most communicative goalie that I've ever played with. And I want to make sure I stress this. It wasn't just you yelling that, hey, pick that guy up, or, hey, I'm passing the puck to the corner. Is
right.
You a lot of instructions, which, I mean, I know I needed, but like I said, we were a pretty beginner team. And I know we didn't always do this stuff.
Put you on the face-offs where you're supposed to line up.
I mean, it was super appreciated because we were still pretty beginnerish. I mean, this is probably the third year of the team being a real team out there. And a lot of people, that was like their third or fourth year of playing any kind of hockey. So We just didn't know stuff. So I guess kind of my first question is then, where did that come from? From you doing that? And like, is that something you did before, or was it just you saw us and were like, I gotta help these guys out?
Well, I had 4 kids and 2 of them played. So I had coached my kid for about 4 years. So that's, and I played through high school. So, I mean, I guess it just came natural, to want to win, to want to get better, to better myself, to better the team. That was my goal. I think I did okay.
I think so. I mean, I'd like to think we all got a little bit better from that.
You guys really improved. Absolutely. We all did. We all improved as a team, as a group. Like you say, it took us, 2 years, and we ended up in Toronto in the national championships. So That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was. I was so shocked when that happened. It was such a nice, like, just big curve up there with everything. It was pretty amazing. Another thing. So then
I had to go. They wouldn't let me play with you anymore.
Then they realized you were way too good for us, and that we were completely riding you, and they made you move up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still playing at least.
I am.
You know.
I am. I'm having more fun this year than I have in a long, long time. It's been a rough several seasons for us over at the Blast, but we're finally starting to come into our own and play well, and I'm playing as well as I ever have, and I'm sober for the most part now, so that's good.
Helps.
It helps. Yes, it does.
Well, that brings up something that we discuss here on the show a lot. Is what do you think besides just skill level? Because like you've played a lot of hockey, you've seen a lot of hockey. Outside of just pure skill level, what do you think helps get teams to be better? You know, like what kind of, I know, like I said, you talking really helped us out because we needed that. I'm sure you're not doing that on the Blast. I'm sure you're not. It's not the same kind of team. Those guys know what they're doing for the most part.
The answer is yes, I am, because it's beer league, and they still really don't know exactly what they should be doing. So I guess that's because it comes natural to me. But yes, I am still always talking, always, behind the net, go around, ring it, up the middle, so-and-so's breaking, it's just stuff like that. That's kind of where I am. It's where I've always been, and it helps. That's one of the things that really, really helps. What else? Having, I guess, coaching experience for one, you almost need to have somebody on a team who's been a coach and who's willing to help people who want to get better and help the team.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying before a little bit, is there's a big difference between, like, because I can say that you were helping, you were calling stuff out, and you can kind of take that two ways. You can take it the way you did it, where you do, like you said, you're calling stuff out of, go up the boards, or that person's breaking out, or look for that. But then I also know goalies that will yell stuff out, and it's not incorrect things, but it's not nearly as helpful. It's like a very different tone. Like, there's the coaching tone, and then there's like the negative kind of yelling at your tone. And I get it. Sometimes that happens. You have to do that, but it's very different. It's a very different experience to have that.
I agree. It definitely has to be a very positive tone when you're trying to get people to do what you want to do. It really does have to be positive. And I'll give you an example. Is we had a game just the other night at Winterhurst, and those crappy lockers they have now, you can hear everything. So anyway, this team just takes the ice, and the coach, first words out of his mouth was, "That was horrible. That was horrible." And I'm sitting there going, "Wow, that's one way to really get your team to go." Yeah.
Same thing.
So you got to be positive about everything. Negativity just brings everybody down. So that's the other thing, is make sure everybody on your team's positive. You gotta get rid of those negative people for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's also a big thing for building, not just like on the ice, but off the ice stuff. I mean, I think, right. How I do stuff. I mean, you've seen me, captaining a team, and I'm all about
run one of the best.
Have fun off the ice.
One of the best locker rooms.
Well, thank you.
You run a great locker room. I will tell you that. It was always fun. It was, everybody knew their jobs, and we all hung out together afterwards. It was great. Even now, the team I'm on now, there might be 5, 6 of us maybe that will go out and hang out after a game. There's just not many, but whatever. Everybody has a life, so.
Yeah. It's talk a little bit more about that. Like, what do you see? And you don't have to name names or say specifically, like, on your current team or anything, but being on other teams, and you filled in. I mean, you're a goalie, you fill in
Yes.
places over the years. What have you seen, like specific things that you could think of that make a good locker room versus making, I mean, I guess a toxic locker room? Because I know that there's out there in beer league. I mean, I hear about that because there's people that are like, I don't want to be on this team. I hate the team. You know, you quit the team and stuff like that.
Well, I will tell you the best locker rooms are the ones where they have the cooler. They've got the beer cooler. They've got, and it doesn't have to be beer. It can, you don't drink. You're a root beer guy.
Yep.
You know what people like.
I love that you remember that.
And that person, whoever that person is bringing the beverages, they need to make sure everybody's, accounted for. You're a root beer guy. This guy likes IPAs. This guy's, they're what are the high noons or stuff like that. That really, really helps make a good locker room. Not that we're getting completely hammered before a game, but maybe a pre-beverage doesn't hurt, loosen things up.
Yeah, I think it's not just. I think it's not just having that. I think it's because the teams that have those, from what I've seen, that bring in, you have your cooler with you, is people show up earlier, usually to maybe have a pregame drink, so they're hanging out more. But then you're also hanging out after, because you're sitting around and I mean I've been there where you're milking one beer for an hour after the game. So it's not like you're just pounding them, but you're hanging out, and you're hanging out in the locker room and just talking about sometimes it's hockey, sometimes it's stupid crap. But
you're getting to know people too.
Right.
That's the other thing is, you don't know everybody. Every year you probably got 3 or 4 new people. People don't come, people quit. New kids, start up. This kid just had a baby, but oh wait, now I can go play hockey. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's one of the things, camaraderie is huge.
Yeah, I had a moment this summer that was one of these, like, kind of just like I stepped back and I was like, this is ridiculous, but this is awesome. We were playing Summer League. We were hanging outside the back of my truck, drinking beers. One of the guys had ordered pizza delivery to the parking lot. So we're just hanging out, weekday night, eating pizza off the back of my truck with the cooler and not talking anything about hockey. We were talking about great deals we found at Costco. That was the big group discussion. And I just, like, in the middle of that, I was kind of just had to, like, wow, this is something. This is something right here, like, in the best way possible, because it's utterly, you're laughing, it's utterly ridiculous.
Those are special moments.
But it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like that time we went to Toronto and took our trophy with us.
Yeah, why don't I think you should tell this. You should tell kind of the whole story of this.
Okay, so our team won the trip to Toronto, and we took our trophy with us and decided to go downtown Toronto with our trophy. And we had one particular gentleman who was he was a good-looking young stud at the time, probably in his early 20s. Mm-hmm. And we would take this trophy, walk up to the most beautiful women we could find, and even some not so beautiful, but basically if they were a woman, we walked up to him with a trophy, and we had him take pictures with these girls with the trophy. And I bet 19 out of 20 said yes. It was a hoot. We go into Gretzky's restaurant with the trophy, hooting and hollering, and we just won the championship, and everybody wanted to be in our pictures.
I remember realizing we went into like 3 or 4 restaurants, and At one point, I think we collectively realized no one asked us what we've actually won. Like, no one cared.
Nobody
Like,
cared.
They just see us with the
cared.
trophy, and they're like, all right, hey, that's all right.
Let's do this. It was a good time, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we milked that thing. We had that thing a lot of places.
Yes, we did. We ended up in Put-in Bay with it. A group of us ended up in Put-in Bay with it, and that may be its resting place as we speak.
Yep.
Don't know what happened to it. But
the story I was told is it was out on a boat. You guys had a lot of fun on the boat. When you came back, it wasn't on the boat anymore. That's what I was told.
Seas, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Lake Erie can get kind of rough, so you never know.
Right, yeah.
Could have been the alcohol.
No, definitely not.
No. Could have been the neighbors at our dock.
Yeah, people were jealous.
Yeah, they wanted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had some good times.
Oh yeah. That was a super fun team. That was a really, and I think, like I said, I talk about it all the time of having a good locker room. I feel like that team was kind of like peak good locker room, because I think everybody on that team hung out like all the time, and we went out all the time, and
right. After we were probably 75%. We had 10, 12 guys every time we went out.
Yeah.
After a game, which was great. I mean, that was super, super fun.
Yeah, which is, now seeing how it is, like how the iterations of teams after that have gone, it's crazy to me that many people went out, but it's also looking at the team, it was a lot of guys that didn't have kids yet, or if they had kids, they were grown up, so they didn't have to like rush home. A number of single people. Like, it was just like this great confluence of people that can go out at 11:30 on a Tuesday night.
Right. Well, there's also that one guy that was in the locker room, and he had played for a couple of years, and nobody really knew who he was, because he was the last one there and the first one to leave, and he never hung out. And then one day he says, "Where are we going after the game?" Yeah, I would say it was me, and I got the look. And it was like, first of all, who are you? Second of all, why are you asking where are we going? And all right, I got divorced, and away I went, and boy, did we have fun. Well, that was the year we went to Toronto.
But that's all it just takes one person to say it, because I remember you saying that, and we're all like, well, we're going home. There's no other, hockey's done. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
We're going out. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, like it just didn't occur to anybody.
I'm free. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's go have a good time.
That's all. It just takes one person. It takes one person to make the suggestion to get it going.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
I think if I have any advice for people listening that think this sounds like fun, this is kind of what your locker room needs, be the one person. Be the person that does it.
Yes.
Find some.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter where you go, because we went to all different kinds of. We'd go to like any kind of bar that was open. We'd go to food places that were open. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It didn't have to be a bar. We just went. It was just a pizza shop.
Anything that's open.
Anything. Yep.
I think if we had to, we would have gone to a 24-hour grocery store. I think we would have.
Hung out in the 7-Eleven parking lot.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, you just got to make the suggestion.
Right.
Somebody be the one to say, yeah, be the who's going out guy. Every team needs that guy.
Absolutely. I'm still that guy.
I think I might be that guy now.
Yeah?
I think I might be.
Awesome.
Well, you instilled that culture. You instilled that culture in the team.
Well,
it's your legacy.
I can help. Yeah.
It's your legacy to hang out. Now, kind kind of shifting gears, one of the other things that I said that you did is you were a longtime ref, beer league ref.
Yes.
And I mean, you refed plenty of my games, got to see plenty of my games from a different perspective. One, what do you see differently as a ref, like just from the game itself, when you ref a game versus when you play a game? Because you've also skated out a little bit. I know not a lot, but you have.
Yes.
So you kind of have all the perspectives of things. So what do you see differently as a ref? And how does that, what you see as a ref, change kind of your perspective from a player?
Well, in my younger days, when I played, I was not very nice to the referees because I knew everything. And then that was before I was even repping beer league. But then once I started repping the beer leagues, things mellowed out. I became nicer to the referees because, well, I knew just about all of them. I know hardly any of them now, but because I'm like, 5-6 years removed. But from reffing to playing, what do I see different? I would have to say just the different levels, the different, God, there's so many different people. Like they're just, everybody's so different. You don't know, what mood they're going to be in today. You don't know what's going on in their personal life. I've done games where I've never had a problem with this guy. What's going on with him today? And then, you come to find out, his wife just cheated on him or something like that. Like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But having an open mind, and actually, I had learned to talk to people while doing their games. If you could tell they were having issues and going off the deep end, if you will, for what seemed to be no reason. Like, dude, what's going on with you? Why are you acting like this? Okay, all right, now that makes sense. Maybe you should sit this one out. Maybe let's find a way to curb this, because you're not helping your team when you do stuff like that. So
yeah. So what did you? I mean, that's good. I think that's a great way. I wish more refs approach stuff like that. Unfortunately, I think a lot don't. What for you was the best way for somebody to talk to a ref? Obviously it's not ranting and raving about something, but how to approach stuff, how to talk to you, like when to say things, when not to say things.
Well, humor is the gateway to everything. If you can come up to me and you've got a good one-liner, like quote Schwarzy or something like that, way before Schwarzy, that's what, okay, that's fantastic. And I will pat you on the back every time because that was funny. And okay, let's have a conversation. This is what I saw. I know you didn't see it that way, but this is what happened. Okay, fine. And usually things go a lot better than that guy just coming up to you screaming and yelling and hooting and hollering and going crazy when he really has no basis for his argument to begin with.
Yeah, that's why I always, and it wasn't as much with you just because I know you. I knew you well before you were reffing our stuff.
Yes.
From playing but I'm sure you saw how I was. Like, I always try to talk to refs before the game. Not any upset about anything, just like, hey, how you doing? Little fist bump.
Yeah.
Chat a little bit. So it's
absolutely.
not, because my thought was always, I don't want the first time you hear my voice to me going, why didn't you call that? Why didn't you call, like, that's a slash. Why didn't you call it? I don't want that to be the first time you hear me all game.
Maybe instead of saying, why didn't you call that? Maybe say something like, are you sure that wasn't a penalty? Or what did you see there? Because I saw this. Maybe go in with a different attitude, with a question other than a demand. And tone is everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're calm about it, and I do that now when I play, I'll even, you know, I pick the puck up for the rest every time. They never bend over when they do one of my games. I am always picking the puck up. I'm always being nice, and I always have a conversation. I'll say, you know, why wasn't that a slash? Well, this is blah blah. Oh, okay, fine. You're civil about it. You get a good answer. You know, if you just start jumping down their throats, A, they're not going to talk to you. B, if they do, you may end up sitting for an extra couple of minutes.
Yeah, no,
nobody needs that.
That's very, very true. That's very true. I had a story. We had another referee on, Ron Wilson, who you know.
Ronnie
was on here a couple episodes ago, and I brought up talking to him and that's how I try to approach it, is, you know, not yelling. I try and be really civil about stuff. And there was like legitimate things. Cause like, I feel like I know hockey rules pretty well. I feel like I have a pretty good, you know, knowledge of it. And I asked him about, it was something like an offsides call. And I was like, why wasn't that offsides? Like, I was legitimate. Like, did I miss something? You know, I know what I saw, and to me it looked like it was. And he explained to me, he's like, oh, well, no, here's what happened. You know, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't mean off, you know, so it's not offsides. I'm like, oh,
yes,
that's how the rules, like, it's worded that way. It's like, yeah. So when that happens, we don't call it. I was like, oh, I had no idea. You know, it's just one of those, like, I know what offsides is, but I don't know all the intricacies of every rule. And it was a very...
Right.
You know...
Might have been one of those where the guy, like, puck was out of the zone and he pushed it into the zone while someone was still in there, but it was kind of a bang where this one touched back, you know, touched the blue line just as he then touched the puck going across. So it was like, but he didn't have possession, so, you know, we're allowed to tag up.
That's what it was. It was one of those, like, weird, like, these four things happen in super quick sequence, but because they happen in this sequence, it's not. And I was like, I had no idea. And I remember going back to and I was just like, okay, I learned something. I remember going back to my bench, and my bench was pissed. You know, and I was like, guys, no, listen, this is what he said. And the whole bench was just like, oh. Okay. All right, then. Well, on to the next thing.
Again, that's the other thing about especially the lower divisions is they don't know the rules. Mm-hmm. They don't understand the rules. They don't understand that just because you may, you know, tap somebody or bump into somebody, it's not always a penalty. You know, you have to look for intent. You know, what was he trying to do? And I think that's the way a lot of the the officials look at it, but the younger guys just starting beer league don't quite understand that yet.
Well, they make it very black and white, and
yes,
I think that's why they always try and say with hockey, you know, like beer league hockey's no checking, but no checking doesn't mean no contact.
Correct.
There's a very big difference, but there is a big gray area there, but it's a big difference between those extremes.
Absolutely. You know, you can be going side by side with somebody down the boards and get just barely ahead of them and cut them off and, you know, give them a little rub on the boards, and that's not a penalty.
Yeah.
They may not like it, but it's not a penalty.
Right. And I think that's always a thing, especially with beginners, like people that didn't grow up playing hockey. That's what they have trouble grasping, is that difference of not every little bit of contact is a check, you know, and you can contact. Right. It's not like, you know, we're not all in bubble wrap, you know, but there's a difference between like fighting somebody along the boards or like kind of jostling in front of the net. There's a difference between that and just knocking somebody over. You know, there's...
Correct.
Yeah.
And then there's the incidental contact. You know, you get that guy that throws the hospital pass up the middle, and two guys end up colliding. And okay, whose fault is that? Nobody's. And it's typically not a penalty unless you can see that, that other person had the intent of lighting that guy up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's beer league. We all got to go to work in the morning. Or most of us do.
I give a lot of credit to the refs that do referee the lower level beer league, because I feel like upper level, it's easier to tell intent because like people know how to look around. They know how to get to where they're going. It's very,
absolutely,
it's very intentional what they're doing. Whereas lower level, I mean, you might also just fall. You might be trying to go and just fall because, it happens.
Well, that blue line tripped you up. It happens.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I've never had that happen to me, but I've seen it happen to other people.
It's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You had a great vantage point, reffing and being goalie. You got to see all this in front of you play out.
Correct. Yeah. I love every minute of it too. Oh my goodness. Like I was saying, having so much fun this year. It's great. We're not winning many games, but we're having fun.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
The wins will come. Wins will come. If you're having a good time, the wins will come.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
Absolutely. And you know it's good when you go to the bar and your teammate goes to the wrong bar, but the other team is there. And all you hear is them talking about you.
Oh, hey!
What the hell got into Dougie today? Well, I must have played well.
There you go. I've never had that. The other team is glad to see me out there. That's all I
I disagree, Ross. You from when I first saw you play to where you are now is night and day.
I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. I'm proud to say it. I like to. Hopefully, I had a little bit to do with it, but I doubt it. But,
more than a little.
You've
more than
really
a little.
come a long way.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stories that you want to share, that you want to like get out into the public for people to just kind of to chew on and enjoy on their drive to. I assume most people in my head, most people are listening to this are like on their way to a game or they're on their way home from a game. So a fun story that they can listen to and laugh.
Man, I will tell you that reffing, I have had to be escorted out probably a half dozen times from crazy parents. At Rocky River, I had a parent that was in the parking lot waiting for us to come out. But what he didn't know was I just finished repping a game and, oh wait, now I have a beer league game, so it might be a while. Anyway, we it's Rocky River, so the cops are right literally in the parking lot already. So we let them know what was going on, and they took care of them. So that was fun. What else? Crazy stuff reffing. This wasn't a men's league game or beer league game, but at Winterhurst they have two rinks, and the game that I had was just a gong show. It was, 16, 18-year-olds, and they just wanted to fight, and it was not good. So anyway, leaving the rink, get into the lobby area where you're literally running the gauntlet, where everybody's staring at you and you're getting the looks. And I see this lady out of the corner of my eye, and she comes making a beeline right towards me. And she starts yelling at me, blah, 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 you. I go, whoa. I was on the other rink. she just put her head down and walked away. You make the comment, all roads lead to beer league, Because they do. Doesn't matter where you start. Does not matter where you start. All roads lead to beer league.
Yep. Yep. It's very, very true. Very true. I mean, look, you have pros playing beer league.
Right.
You know?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to play against one last April. I played on a USA Hockey men's national championship, 60 and over league. And there was a guy that played for the not Rochester. It was Chicago, wherever the Chicago team is.
Chicago Wolves? Or was it the Blackhawks?
No. It was it was their AHL or IHL team.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy was he was a tank. He had a cannon. His first shot is at my head. I'm like, I know that was intentional. He's way better than that. You guys like that, that's intentional.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Good times though.
I can't imagine standing in goal and have a guy out there like that, having a pro out there.
He was good. He was for 60 some years old. This guy could still move.
Jeez. Well, that's a big thing that I've noticed with honestly with older hockey guys. It's not always guys that are super fast. It's a lot of times these guys, they just always are in the right spot.
They know where to
be.
Yep, absolutely. And that's, 90% of the game. That's how the Russians played back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Everybody always went to open ice. There was always somebody in open ice, and they always found a way to get there. And if you can get your guys on your men's league team to do that, it's going to make you guys that much better because the other teams aren't doing it.
Right. I mean, that's every so often I see that. No. But I mean, every so often you see you have the right combo of guys and you see a shift out there and they're doing that. And it's, the D gets the puck and he takes it in and somebody covers in behind him. And he takes the shot and he goes to the left side. Then the right side guy comes over for the rebound. And it's
right.
And you just watch it and it's beer league. I'm playing in lower level beer league. It happens for 30 seconds at a time. But you watch that 30 seconds and you're like, whoa, that looks like hockey. That's amazing.
Hey, let's do that again.
I will say that's the thing I always try and do is at least be smart about what I'm doing playing. Because I know I am not a gifted athlete. I do not have speed. I've never had speed. But I try and at least, do the stuff of know what's going on around me, go to the right spaces for the most part. And that's what I preach to people is trying to do that because that makes such a difference and it helps out so, especially in beer league because people aren't doing that.
Right on. Absolutely.
Let me see here. Unless you have a story queued up, I'm gonna bring up something here that I have. I'm guessing you don't because you're being quiet.
I do not.
This guy because I forgot to bring it up on my computer. I'm not as prepared as I always seem. I hate to burst your bubble on this. I know I seem like I always know what's going on.
Hey, I thoroughly enjoy watching your podcast.
I appreciate it, man. I have fun doing this.
Me in that town in Germany.
Hey, I'll tell you what. They're still number 2 and the most down like across the board downloads. I don't know why, but I was looking at YouTube, my individual YouTube stats. I have, US is the top streamer. Canada's easily the second one. The third one that is far and away number 3 above anybody else, Sweden. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I assume it's one really dedicated Swedish fan. I assume. But
all Swedish, no Finnish.
see, I would take it if it was Finnish. I would understand. I'd be like, oh, it's maybe somebody in my family found this and got a hold of this. But nope. All right, so yeah, this is a rapid fire list of questions. All the guests get these. Answer them as short and quickly as you can. That makes for better answers.
All right.
How do you wind down after late games?
Hot tub.
That's good. All right. What do you think is the biggest separator among beer leaguers?
Biggest separating of beer leaguers. Willingness to learn.
Ooh, that's a good one. Base layer or no base layer?
Base layer.
Skate socks, athletic socks, dress socks, or you're disgusting in no socks?
Just athletic socks. Typically, what do they call them now? Those compression socks.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad to hear not no socks. Somebody's going to say that, and I'm going to be disgusted. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Ugh. Slap shot or wrist shot?
Neither.
You know what? I'll accept it because you're a goalie. As a goalie, I'll accept that answer. But this is one you have to pick. Wheel bag or backpack bag?
Wheel bag.
All right. People make fun of the wheel bag thing. I love a wheel bag, man.
Yeah, I'm old. I ain't carrying that shit. It weighs more than I do.
I love it. Like, I have so much crap in my bag. It's nice to be able to wheel that around.
Hell yeah.
All right. Parking lot cookout or locker room beers?
Ooh. I'll go locker room beers.
And finally, 6 a.m. game or 11 p.m. game?
6 a.m.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we don't get a lot of those.
Yeah, gives you the rest of the day to drink.
I mean, to be fair, the 11 p.m. game kind of does too. You're not going to be in great shape for it, but
right.
Yeah,
I'm tired by then. I don't like the 10-15 games, 11 o'clock. Give me 6, 7, 8 a.m. all day long.
See, now, would you prefer a 10, because most of our games are either 10-15, I'd say is kind of the latest, but generally the earliest is like, and we have some like 7:45s, but usually it's like 9:15, 9:30. Do you care if between like 9:15 or 10:15?
I'd prefer 9:15 versus 10:15. That extra hour is huge, believe it or not. To me, it is, anyways.
Okay, because what I see happening a lot of times as we have earlier games, as the season goes on, obviously our games get earlier as kids hockey ends and we can actually get in the rinks earlier. As a captain, that starts to really kind of suck as we get actually early games, like when we get the random 8 o'clock games, because all of a sudden people are like, well, no, I got to put the kids down, or the wife doesn't get home from work until 8 o'clock.
Yep.
So I can't.
Yeah, that's very, very true. That happens. Yeah.
Turns into a very different thing. Whereas people if 10:45 game, people don't want to do it, but as soon as it gets to be like 8 o'clock, or as we get very late into the season and we have like 6:45 on Sundays and stuff like that, people get real sketchy about being able to make those.
Right. I will give you a tip, or this would be a tip for captains out there in beer league. You need to limit the amount of firemen and policemen you have on your team, because inevitably there's that one time where none of them can make it, and now you have 7 guys because the other 7 are working.
Oh, that's I never thought about that, but oh yeah, yeah, that would suck. That would really suck.
Yeah, that's us. We're very heavily firemen right now, so it can be very trying getting enough people to show up. So,
yeah, yeah, because I know there is a team that I think is almost all firemen in our league as well, and
yes, yeah,
and
they have a roster of like 25 people though.
Well, that's why, because I think they had that last year, and I think they had a forfeited game because they just didn't have enough guys, because it wound up that everybody overlapped. Like, whatever, however that worked, it was like, oh, our overlap for all the different shifts are right when our game is supposed to be. So, like, we can get the 3 non-firemen can come play, but that's it. Everyone else is coming or going right then.
Crazy.
Yeah. Weird problems I never thought you'd have to try and solve.
Right?
Thank you, Beer League.
Oh, it's been great.
Right. It is. You know what? Let me end on this. Let me end on this question for you.
Okay.
You've been around Beer League a long time. You've been in a lot of different capacities. You've been on different teams. Tons of teammates that you've had. What is your one favorite thing about Beer League? The thing that keeps you coming back year after year?
What brings me back year after year after year? I grew up with this game. I started when I was 10. I couldn't wait. I lived in Cleveland, moved to Olmsted Falls, and they had a local team. And sure enough, I managed to get on it. And it's just one of those things. I just love this game. There's nothing else like it. Lacrosse may be close, but that's it. And it just doesn't compare. This is by far the greatest sport in the world. And I'll fight anybody who dares to debate me on that.
That's perfect.
So yes.
That is perfect. That is a perfect way to end things. All right. Well, Doug, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Hope you had a good time. Hope we can have you back sometime.
Catch me later in the season. We'll do a recap of how things went this year.
Perfect. I mean, I'll be around the rink. I'm everywhere.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm always there. I'm at every game pretty much.
And when I see you, it brightens my day.
Aw.
It really does, man. You're just such a you're just such a cool dude, and you're always positive, and you always have a smile, and you always have a great story to tell. So there you go.
I have fun. I have fun with the hockeys.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
You have to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. Really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. As always, go check out everything related. Yes, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. Happy New Year as well.
Happy holidays.
Go check out thebeerleaguer.com for everything to do with everything that you care about hockey. That should be your homepage on your web browser. Go check out other episodes. Really appreciate everybody listening. Thanks a lot. Catch you in the next one.